Hello and welcome to another goddamn issue of the Devils and Gods Country. I'm one of your hosts, Casper Rigsby. It's my lovely, beautiful, talented co-host, Miss Allie Jackson. Say hi, Miss Allie.
Hi.
All right, so for those of you who did not see the notification from our page and who don't follow us on our page and stuff, tonight's topic will be Catholic pieces of shit. Um, Not to say all Catholics are pieces of shit. Not even to say all members of the clergy are pieces of shit. But there is a vast amount of clergy and higher ups in the Catholic Church who are absolute and total pieces of shit. So, um, let's discuss why the hell I would say that. Because it seems like a pretty broad statement, right? It's just a lot of pieces of shit, right? Um, so recently, uh, give me just a second. Hey, you want to speak on this for just a minute, Allie? I'm going to look up this other article, and I'll be right back.
Yeah, sure. This is a very important topic due to recent events right now. But of course, I'm just going to bitch about the obvious, the reason why everybody distrusts the Catholic Church. Or actually, I want to talk about why more people don't distrust the Catholic Church. That kind of really pisses me off. If there is ever a possibility of me leaving my child with someone, it's not going to be a church member. It's not going to be somebody who could possibly have the motivation of abusing my child. If somebody's only qualification for watching your kids is, hey, we attend the same church, you need to do a little bit of better parenting there and say, you know what, maybe I need to dig a little bit deeper into your background and figure out what's going on with you. Many priests go about from church to church to church. I've seen it firsthand. I grew up across the street from a Catholic church, and I was curious, and I'd hop over there on occasion. My best friend is Catholic, so one of their priests one day was just like, "I have to leave. I'm being forced to leave my family here, and I'm being sent somewhere else. And I want to apologize to my entire congregation, everybody here. I want to apologize to you, but I have to leave. I'm being forced to leave." So there's no question over why he was being forced to leave. Everyone fucking knew why he was being forced to leave. But the thing is he was being forced to leave to go somewhere new and do his shit all over again. Right? And people just take their kids and they're like, oh, well, it's church. Everyone who loves God is a good person. And that's bullshit. It's bullshit. Matter of fact, whenever I see companies that have their Christian signs flashed up there, their little Christian fish, or they base Chick-fil-A, they base their entire thing on God, their employees get Sundays off for church and things like that, I tend to distrust you more. And it's basically the same reason why Susan B. Anthony said what she said so many years ago, is anybody who claims to know exactly what it is God wants, I'm suspicious of them because it always tends to follow about their same motivations. So, kind of sick. I don't like it at all. But Casper, are you ready to get back to it?
Oh yeah, you were doing great. I'm just pouring another shot because this is kind of a touchy subject to me. I'm a former Catholic. I actually converted to Catholicism from a more evangelical fundamentalist Christian denomination known as the Church of Christ. That's the church group that my grandfather preached for.
I want to talk about the Church of Christ tonight, so that's awesome.
Yes. That's the organization I grew up in. That's the version of Christianity I grew up with. And as I was trying to remold myself into a more decent person, and to better understand Christianity itself, I actually started visiting Catholic churches, and I found them to be pretty enjoyable for the most part. I found the ritualism and the camaraderie there, and the symbolism used, and the way that the priests would not just lecture you on Bible verses, but actually, try to speak to you in a very real manner. And of course, this is due to having dealt with good priests who really felt what they were saying, and they really believed what they were saying, and they wanted to convey a good message to the members of their parish. and so they really worked towards building a harmonious community and helping other people understand the Bible and Christianity and Jesus and all of these things. So it's a subject close to me, simply because I spent several years as a self-proclaimed Catholic, and was baptized in the Catholic Church. So there's an article in the Wall Street Journal, one that recently popped up in my newsfeed, and I don't know why it recently popped up in my newsfeed, because it was last updated on May 6th of 2014. And as of May 6th, 2014, 848 priests had been defrocked, meaning they have been stripped of their priestly duties and rights as priests. They've not necessarily been excommunicated from the church. Understand that a defrocking does not necessarily mean that you are excommunicated from the church, meaning that you are not allowed to be a Catholic anymore. And according to the rites and rituals of Catholicism, if you're excommunicated, your chances of getting into heaven are pretty slim and narrow. And if you do, you're probably going to have to pay a shitload of penance and time in purgatory. So it's a pretty involved situation when you get excommunicated from the church. For the believer, it's very, oh my goodness. But to be defrocked just means you can't be a priest anymore. And you can't hold any sort of elder office within the church, within the Catholic Church. So 848 in 2014. And what have all these priests been defrocked for? Child abuse. Child abuse and molestation. All of them. This is not including the number of people that have actually been defrocked for covering up the scandals and hiding these people and hiding the allegations and suppressing witnesses and victims, and keeping them from actually speaking out about what happened to them. So here we see this number of 848, and this is 2 years ago. Okay, that number has almost surely grown exponentially since that point in time. So we're probably talking at least bare minimum well over 1,000 priests that have been removed from the priesthood, that are no longer able to be acting priests within the Catholic Church for child molestation or child abuse of some sort. And out of all those priests, there are 0 sitting in prison. None. Not a one. The Catholic Church has done nothing to hand over these criminals to the actual proper authorities. They've done nothing to actually staunch the abuse and to stop it, other than to say, oh, well, we don't condone that. Except for the fact that quite often they do condone it. And when they don't actually outrightly condone it, they condone it by proxy by letting these criminals go free and go about their lives and continue to potentially molest other children or abuse other children outside of the church because, hey, they didn't get caught the first fucking time, so why stop now? So here we have all these potential pedophiles and actual predators. And I see all these assholes around me worried about, hey, man, I can't shop at Target no more because they might let the gays in the bathroom. And yet you're still going to take your kid to fucking see his priest in the fucking church. And these are the people we know are fucking molesting children. But you're like, oh, no, man, the church is great. No, the fuck they're not. And, of course, I say that with a redneck accent because I'm a fucking redneck. I live in Tennessee. All the people I'm around are fucking rednecks. And they all have redneck accents. Doesn't mean they're not fucking Catholic. There's plenty of Catholics around here. There's like 4 fucking Catholic churches in my town. I know plenty of fucking redneck Catholics. So, you know, it fucking happens. And they're still taking their kids to the fucking churches. And they're still sitting here bitching about fucking transgendered people getting to use the same restroom as their little boy because, you know, God forbid something fucked up's going to happen, or getting to use the same restroom as their little girl. And that always tends to be the case. It's always, oh man, there might be a person with a penis in the bathroom with my little girl. Like, all right, I kind of understand your reasoning to a degree, but that's a person with a penis who doesn't actually really want to have a penis. Like if they had a choice in the matter and it was an easy situation, they go, "Yeah, let's not deal with this whole penis thing. I'm not really cool with that." So, like, what you're worried about, it doesn't really have any bearing. But you can take your fucking kid to a fucking church, and then you're gonna go, "Oh, well, you seem to be having some faith issues. I'm gonna let you spend an hour in here with the fucking priest, behind closed doors, and you have a talk with him. You see if we can get you straight." Um, and I don't get it. Like, here's in 2014, 848 motherfuckers that the church just flat out said, yeah, we kind of have a lot of people fucking molesting folks. Like, that's kind of a thing. And these are the ones that we know of for sure. And we just said, you can't be priests anymore. We damn sure didn't turn them over to the police, but we told them they can't be priests anymore. So we handled it. We handled the issue. Nobody should be upset. Yeah, everybody should be fucking upset that all of those 848 people that are known to have actually abused a child in some sexual form or manner should be sitting behind bars or have served a prison sentence, because let's face it, you can get more fucking jail time for having a fucking ounce of weed than you can for fucking molesting a kid in this country. That's the United States we live in, and I can't wait till Hillary makes it worse. Woo. So fucking, we're not dealing with that tonight. I'm sorry. I'm still on a fucking rampage about that shit. But anyway, yeah, that's the country we lived in, man. I actually have served prison time, and I went into prison on drug charges. I ended up with a 10-year sentence for what should have been misdemeanor possession of narcotics, and they were bumped up to felony possession because, hey, they're in separate baggies. So apparently I was fucking selling it. No conscious thought to, hey, you might just have to buy it that way because that's how your dude sells it. And of course, I went in there and watched people get 5 years or less for molesting 3-year-olds. I watched one guy get a fucking 15-year sentence, served 1 year in prison for molesting his own daughter and her 6-year-old niece and giving them both gonorrhea. And he got less time actually spent in prison than I did for simple drug possession, for being an addict who said, fuck, I still want to be an addict, so I'm going to go get some drugs. So it's a fucked up situation. And here we have at least 848 people as of 2014 that are known to be pedophiles, and they're sitting here free and happy because Catholic Church has, suppressed anyone's ability to actually do anything. They've hidden these people away. They've cast them out of the church and said, hey, you go hide over here, and we'll make sure nobody ever gets these records, and it'll all be okay. But, you're not allowed to be a priest anymore because, that was a little bit fucked up because you got caught. Not necessarily what you were doing, but because you got caught. That's a little fucked up. I don't know. What do you think, Allie?
Well, and I think that we're also not taking into effect here the fact that many of these people get caught and they aren't put away, they aren't cast out, they're just taken over to different churches. You were caught here. We're going to cover this up for you. We're going to move you over here, and by the grace of God, you're lucky. Let's try to not get caught again. And so the number that you show there is, I'm afraid, only just a pinch of what's actually happening in the Catholic Church. And there was a movie on this recently that didn't do very well, I think, due to the obvious. Many people don't want to hear the truth. Many people don't want to hear that there could be some sort of cover up within the, and I hate pushing any sort of agenda where I say there's a cover up, because it makes me feel like I'm some sort of conspiracy theorist here. But we do have facts. I mean, there are facts that there are indeed a cover up. There are facts that the cardinals and whatnot have indeed said, oh, we didn't know it was wrong to have sex with little boys. Nowhere is it written that we couldn't have sex with the little boys.
We had some. I'm sorry to interrupt you. There was someone, my wife was telling me about an article that she read where someone said that a 7-year-old boy is old enough to know what the fuck he's doing, and all this shit is consensual. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like,
Right.
are you out of your fucking mind to say that? Oh my god. No,
Exactly.
I'm sorry. Continue.
No, and think about it. If they're saying this shit to a place where it can go public, if they're saying this shit to an outlet that can report what they said, can you imagine what they're saying in private? Can you imagine the bullshit they're feeding each other so that they can continue on getting their jollies with poor children? And then we have fucking preachers out here right now going off. They're so happy that 50 pedophiles are dead, 49 homosexual or people who are in that bar are dead, and one murderer is dead. But they're going off saying that 50 pedophiles are dead and we should be rejoicing. Okay, so we need to look towards who the pedophiles really are statistically. Okay, if we really want to get down to brass tacks here, and we statistically want to prove which organization or which membership people belong to produces more pedophiles, we could easily do that research, and we could easily figure out that there are more pedophiles within our churches than there are within our gay bars. So it's quite disheartening to me, especially since just because a priest molests a little boy doesn't necessarily make him gay. Okay, it does make him a pedophile. It does make him, in my opinion, somebody who enjoys power over people, but doesn't necessarily make him gay. So there's a lot of factors to hold in here, but people are so close-minded and they're so quick to judge things, and they are so willing to attack the gay community. Everyone else gets attacked. The LGBT community gets attacked left and fucking right. I am terrified. I am mortified of the day my son's not allowed to play with another little boy because his parent thinks that my son's going to give their kid the gay, or they think that my kid is going to rape their kid, or they think that my kid is going to molest their younger son, or something of that nature. I am terrified because there are so many ignorant fucking people out there right now that don't understand what it is to be gay. And I told you I wanted to talk about the Church of Christ, and I want to talk about it for a very good damn reason. Jeffrey Dahmer. And this might seem like it's out of character here, but it's really not, okay? Jeffrey Dahmer was indeed a member of Church of Christ, and I grew up with another friend that I went to many Church of Christ camps with. It was very odd being on the female on the side of Church of Christ. Even when I went to a camp in Banderas, Texas, I think it was, we couldn't swim together. The boys and the girls couldn't go swimming together. And even though we were girls swimming with girls, we still had to wear t-shirts over our swimsuits. Our shorts had to come down to our knees. Like we couldn't wear bathing suits. No music could be played while we sang. It was pretty weird. it was very stressful. It was very stressful because every single day they put so much stress on us to be these holy people, these great people of God, warriors for Christ. And it felt so pressurous, even during a camp where they ran you ragged all day. They didn't feed you regularly, so you were just exhausted. And at the end of every day, there were these 3-hour-long congregation things where people just went on and on forever. You were exhausted, you're tired, you're cranky. You can't go to bed until you get up and you confess something you've done wrong, something you're going to change in your life. It was just this crazy ordeal for me. And Jeffrey Dahmer grew up in this religion. And everyone loves to say how the first thing people point out whenever you start talking about what religion breeds in people is they say Jeffrey Dahmer was an atheist. Jeffrey Dahmer may have turned into an atheist, but Jeffrey Dahmer came from Church of Christ, okay? And Jeffrey Dahmer was outrageously fucked up about himself and about his sexual partners. He hated himself for being homosexual because he knew that his father and his grandmother, these strong Church of Christ people, did not accept him, would not accept him, could not accept that behavior. So he hated himself, and he hated anyone who reached out to him or tried to love him for being who he was because of his religion that he grew up in. And in all honesty, I think that in the end, he ended up being a maltheist anyway. He ended up hating God for allowing him to be a homosexual, hating God for putting these men in his life that could have loved him. But he was angry because homosexuality is so hated amongst religions. So we look at that. We see our preachers out here happy right now that all these quote unquote pedophiles are dead now, and we shouldn't be sad, we should be rejoicing. But why the fuck are they not looking at men who enjoy having sex with little boys and little girls? Why aren't they upset over those pedophiles? So because you're gay, you automatically get the title of pedophile. You automatically get the title of worthless piece of shit. But when there are actual pedophiles in our churches, Christian, Catholic, it doesn't matter, especially Jewish, okay? They're not exempt either here. We've got pedophiles running rampant in churches. And I will say that. I will absolutely say it's running rampant. Anyone can challenge me on that. That's fine, but I am making an absolute statement here that there is a problem with all religions and sex with children, sexual abuse, and we're not calling them out on it. Why? And I think that the reason why we're not doing it is because everyone knows when you point your finger at someone, you've got three pointing back at you. So if the church, the Christian church over here starts pointing fingers at the Catholic church, look at all the nasty shit you do. Look, we can go through the news. We can pile up articles, one report after another of preachers doing the same thing in the Christian church. It's maddening, and nothing's happening.
Yeah, and like you said, it's not just the Catholic Church. I don't want Catholics out there who may happen upon this and see this and they say, "Oh, well, you're just picking on the Catholic Church." It's not just the Catholic Church, and that's a very serious issue. It's because it's not. We see time and again where Baptist ministers and ministers from the Church of Christ and the fucking Jehovah's Witnesses and fucking Seventh Day Adventists, they're all over the place, and we see these people being brought up and getting caught with either child porn or fucking actual molestation charges brought against them. And it's time and time again in the church that this happens, and it is the same people that are sitting here railing on gay people and talking about how bad gay people are and how they're all pedophiles and blah blah blah. And it's one of those things where the monster you hate the most is the one you see in the mirror every fucking day. That's the monster you hate the most, because you can't control that monster. Apparently you haven't got that monster under control, and so you hate that monster, and so you lash out at every other thing out there, and you fucking project your own shortcomings and your own failings onto others, and you try to say, "Oh, I'm not the monster, the monsters are out here, we've got to go get those monsters." And then it comes to light, no, you're the fucking monster. You're the monster that we should have been fighting the whole fucking time. But like Allie said, we're not fighting those people. These priests from the Catholic Church, the reason that they're so high profile for a lot of us, and the reason that we're sitting here talking about them now, is because we have, like I said, as of 2014, 848 cases that haven't been prosecuted. They haven't gone to prison. They haven't actually gone in front of a court and had to explain themselves and been put on trial for their abuses. And yet, when it happens outside of the Catholic Church, you don't have this huge organization to stand behind these people and to fucking absolve them of this shit and to get them out of it and to pay lawyers massive fucking fees and to pay huge fucking settlements so that never comes to fucking light. We've got these fucking non-disclosure orders and you can't talk about it now. We gave you a bunch of money, so you can't talk about it now and everything's okay. It's not. It's not okay. There should be no such thing as a non-disclosure agreement. There should be no such thing as a settlement out of court. I'm not saying that these victims don't deserve some sort of recompense either. They do. They most certainly do deserve some sort of recompense, but they also deserve to be brought to light and to be brought to justice. And an out of court settlement is not justice. Paying someone not to tell on you is not justice. No justice has been served there. Justice is an evening of the scale. It's righting a wrong. When you take a wrong and you make it right, you even the fucking scale. And that doesn't involve paying somebody. You can't do that by paying someone unless all you did was steal their fucking money, and then you can pay their money back and you've righted the scale to some degree. But you've also caused them emotional harm and other harm, and you owe them more than what you took. Now,
Absolutely. Okay, can I add something to that?
Oh, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
Whenever you pay off a victim like this to not say anything and shut their mouth, not only do they end up believing that if they don't take this is the only bit of compensation they're ever going to get. This is at least their victim understanding and saying, yes, I did do something to you. Now please shut the fuck up about it. Most victims don't even get that. Most victims will never get that kind of comfort, if you will. But accepting that kind of agreement, the victim forever lives on knowing that they are the sole cause of more people getting abused by this person. Because they took their only justice that they were ever going to get, and they shut the fuck up so that this person could go on committing more and more and more crimes. And it's don't get me wrong here, I'm not blaming the victim anymore. To get someone to the point to say, hey, I did it, that is everything. That is everything. I was sexually abused in the Baptist church. And I went to my parents and I told my parents what happened. And my mother told me to shut up. And that is the only bit of justice I ever got from that, was shut up. And I'm afraid that it's the only justice many kids get, that happens to. You don't get anything. So when you actually get to the point where you have someone say, yes, I did this to you, and I'm sorry, but please shut the fuck up and take this money. How are you not going to take that? But at the same time, you have to live with the rest of your life knowing that you're the reason why they're still out there committing these crimes. It's a double-edged sword. It really fucking sucks.
And as a parent, I want to say that if someone was to do something such as that to my child, I would adamantly be like, no, we're not taking a fucking settlement. We're not going to settle for any fucking thing. You're going to go to fucking court. And what you did is going to be fucking headline fucking news if I can help it. At the same time, you have to look at your child and go, am I going to ruin your life and turn you into a fucking spectacle because I want this person to actually pay for what they did, not monetarily. I want them to go to prison. I want them to serve time.
And you know that you're going to put your kid up there, and your kid is going to get filleted like a goddamn fish, and your kid is going to get called a liar, and your kid is going to have to tell the story 50 times, 100 times, 1,000 times, because those lawyers are looking for one fucking slip up. One time that you didn't tell the story correct. So they could say, boom, look, she's a liar. He's a liar. This never happened. And do you do that to your kid? Can you do that to your kid? It's, it's a hard choice.
Yeah, it's absolutely a hard choice. And then to know that you might actually lose the case because here you're dealing with the Catholic Church, and we're talking about an organization that has more money than probably 75 to 80% of the countries on this planet. Okay? And just let that sink in, because there's like 120, 160 different countries on this planet, and the Catholic Church has more combined wealth than the vast majority of all those other countries, singularly, not combined. But still, that's just a mind-boggling amount of money and wealth and influence that they use. And then they also have the influence of a singular man who can step in front of the whole fucking group of Catholics. They have the Pope who can step in front of all Catholics and say, "Look, here's the Catholic position on it, and this is what we're all going to go with, and I need you to step behind me on this." And so many will. They'll just step behind them and go, "Hey, we're dealing with it. It's not like we're just ignoring it. We're dealing with it. It's not like they're just sitting here getting away with it." Yeah, they are.
Yeah, they are.
Yes, they are. And here's the thing. My sons, I have two sons, and their innocence does not have a fucking price tag. It doesn't have a monetary fucking price tag. If you take away their innocence as children, if you molest one of my children, there's not a price tag on that. You can't pay that back. You certainly can't pay it back monetarily. The best thing I can hope for is that you will end up getting a prison sentence, and that the people in prison who have a great, incredible ability of finding out what the fuck you're in there for, no matter how many lies you tell about what you're actually in there for, they will find out that you're a fucking pedophile and a child rapist. And oddly enough, in a situation, in a community such as the prisons, where you would think these are the most immoral, unethical sons of bitches, piece of shit on the fucking planet, oddly enough, if you come into a prison system and it's found out that you're a fucking pedophile or a child molester, odds are you're going to be somebody's bitch, if not handed around and passed around the whole fucking place. And just when you fart, it's going to go woof, because your asshole's been torn the fuck up. And it's going to happen every day until the fuck you get out of there. Or you fucking catch out and spend the rest of your fucking days in solitary confinement. Those are your fucking options. That's firsthand fucking experience of watching that shit happen in fucking prison. And I guarantee you that nobody's gonna fucking tell on the people raping you. Nobody's gonna go, "Hey man, they've been fucking gang raping that dude in the fucking cell every fucking night." Nobody's gonna say anything. They know what the fuck you're in there for. They're gonna go, "Hey man, you bought and paid for that shit, dude. You fucking earned it. Enjoy." And to know that that's the only sort of recompense, the only sort of justice that can come from you doing something so terrible to my kid, is just, it's not even satisfying in the least. Certainly not satisfying for me as a parent, and I'm sure it would not be satisfying for my child. The better option would be to say, "Look, we're not going to allow this, period. If it happens, you will be turned over to the authorities. Every bit of evidence and every bit of every victim, every person willing to speak about this is going to come forward, and they're going to come forward against you. And we're not going to protect you. We're not going to pay your legal fees. We're not going to buy you a fucking lawyer. We're not going to fucking buy your way out of it. We're not going to settle out of court on your fucking behalf. If you harm children in this way, we will fucking hang you out to dry. Period." And you know what? The Catholic Church hasn't done that.
How have they not done that? Like, I don't understand how it's legal that they're able to do this. I don't understand, because we have people on the sex offender registry right now who are sex offenders because they had sex in public and they got caught. All right, that could have been me. That could have been you. Right now, we could be sex offenders, and we just weren't caught. Okay, so we have people out there whose lives are ruined over something that just about every kinky person does. And I'm not saying it's right, I'm not justifying it, don't get me wrong, but if you've ever taken a risk and done something, like that, then yeah, if you just didn't get caught, you're fucking lucky. Everyone else is a registered sex offender. And we've got people who are actually out there like fucking raping kids and shit. And they're just cushed up someplace nice and out of the way and neat and tidy. And again, this out of the way shit is not out of children's way. This is just like your victim won't know where you are anymore, but now you're preaching up in Vermont. All right? So you still get your cush life. You still get everything you want, and now you get a new set of children to choose from. How is this legal? How are we allowing this? That's what I don't understand.
And that's part of the Catholic Church, and that's part of their power, and that's why we have to talk about the Catholic Church above and beyond, Baptists and Church of Christ and everything, because the Catholic Church has created their own entity in Rome, and so they actually have their own legal status, and most of these priests have a dual citizenship. As a priest, they are actually citizens of this other fucking nation of the Vatican City, which is its own separate entity from everything else. It's not even part of Italy. Like, they rule themselves, they have their own police system, everything. And most of these priests have dual citizenship there, so if they get in bad enough fucking trouble that they can't fucking worm their way out of, oh, well, it's time for me to go to Vatican City. And boom, you're out of the fucking country. And you wait it out.
That is the huge difference here, because I have seen the Baptists, the Methodists, the Church of Christ, whoever it is in the Christian sects, or Protestant, I should say, sects of that, they do get arrested. They do go to jail. They do get punished. They don't have anyone to hide behind. So, that's always been my question, is how are they, and then my question really is, knowing that, okay, why go out of your way to save these people? Why do it? And what ultimately, to me, the answer has to come down to is because they're all in agreement that it's okay.
Well, I think above and beyond that, what it comes down to is, if they shed light on all of this, if they point the finger, if they let these people take the fall, then that looks bad on the Catholic Church as a whole. That looks bad on the church as an organization. So in order to fucking, cover their own ass and to cover the ass of the organization itself, they sit here and they take care of these people, even knowing that I want to believe that most of the archdiocese and the Pope himself does not think that this is okay. But at the same time, in the long run, what they're looking at is, this could devastate the organization as a whole, and who's going to take us seriously, and are people still going to send us money, and are they going to take care of us, and are they going to make sure that we have this nice, wonderful city to live in, and all these nice things that we can take advantage of. And are they going to take care of us? Are they still going to buy the bullshit that we're feeding them if they realize how full of shit we are? So they want to fucking protect that. And of course, nobody's going to buy the bullshit that you're fucking feeding them if they truly understand just how fucked up your entire organization is. And it's the same way with corporations. Because honestly, Catholicism is corporate Christianity. That's what Christianity looks like when it's been privatized and corporatized. Look at Catholicism and you'll understand corporate mentality surrounding religion. Okay? And just like with what we see in the Catholic Church with them protecting these priests, we see the same thing in the corporate world, where somebody gets accused of fraud or embezzlement, and the company comes in and they pay the legal fees and they hush everybody up and they fucking settle everything out of court and they just get rid of the person, and we don't ever hear anything else about it, because they're covering their own ass. And they're making sure, oh, well, we don't think that, we don't want you as a fucking consumer to think that this person is going to fucking take your money and just fucking steal it, and fucking you're just fucked over. So we don't want you to know about that. So we're gonna cover his ass in order to cover our own ass. And it's the same thing with the Catholic Church. I mean, it's privatized, corporatized Christianity, and that's what religion is becoming on a daily basis. Every mega church you see spring up in your town is a march towards that. When you see the Southern Baptist Convention, it's a march towards corporatized Protestant Christianity in the United States. And they're spreading. They're spreading beyond the United States. You have these groups that are going out and they're starting Baptist organizations in other countries. And you have this huge corporate structure, you know, and it's really it's a business. And if in 2016 we don't understand that religion is a fucking business, you have no fucking right to talk about religion. If you can't understand that single point, whether you're religious or not, that religion is big fucking business, and there's a lot of fucking Joel Osteens out there.
Mhm.
Just because we know about Joel Osteen and he fucking shoves his face in everybody else's face doesn't mean he's the only fucking one. You know, how many times have I read about fucking Creflo Dollar and the rest of the fucking prosperity gospel ministers out there who are fleecing the shit out of their fucking out of their flock, man, just fleecing the fuck out of them. And you know, hey, I gotta have this fucking $2 million corporate jet because you know I gotta go around and speak to people about the word of God. Why?
You had to
Take
have
a
a
fucking
limo.
bus, man.
You
Ain't you
had to
ever
have
been on Greyhound?
What's
Like honestly, I wanted to attend the fucking the Myth Information Conference in Milwaukee, the last one that they had. I took a fucking Greyhound from my home in Tennessee, and I rode the fucking Greyhound up to this fucking conference so I could be around other likewise free thinkers and experience this conference for myself. I wasn't even a fucking speaker, but I wanted to be there, so you know I took my ass up there. Now, could I be a speaker? Of course, man. These are friends of mine. Like these are people I interact with, and Allie will be speaking at their next convention. Are they gonna fucking just fucking buy her a fucking corporate jet so she can fly all over and be there when they need? No, they're fucking not. We wouldn't ask people to do that.
Because that's insane.
It is.
Insane.
How do we have a Patreon for our fucking podcast? Of course we don't. Do I want you to fucking pay me for us to sit here and get drunk and rant at you? Of course not. Fuck no. But it's the same thing fucking Joel Osteen asks you to fucking throw in the collection plate for every fucking time he preaches.
In
Are you
his
fucking kidding me?
$10.8 million home right here in Houston.
Oh my god, man. It's fucking crazy.
It is. It is. And you know what? I do want to bring this up. I want to bring up Pope Francis. Okay, everybody's favorite pope. He loves everybody. He's given us atheists a pass to heaven. Casper, if you and I are good, we're gonna go to heaven.
I don't want his fucking heaven, and I don't want anything to do with his fucking God, and he can shove it up his goddamn ass.
Thank you. Thank you so much, because I get so tired of other atheists being like, well, that's a nice thing to say because he believes. I don't give a fuck what he believes. He believes it's okay to hide pedophiles. Okay? But no, I don't look at him as anything other than the most amazing PR guy I've ever seen in my life. Quite honestly, I admire him for his amazing PR skills. Okay? He has come up here. He has said, why can't we believe in evolution? We should believe in evolution. All of these things trying to modernize Catholicism, so people are like, hey, they aren't so Stone Age. They're getting with the times. I can still buy into this because as science changes, Catholicism is changing. But, you know, they still don't believe in abortion. And it's, as Christopher Hitchens said, you know, abortion is a woman's key out of poverty. All right, it is a key out of poverty, and we say that because, especially in Catholicism, where you can't use birth control, can't use condoms, can't have an abortion, everything is just stuck on a woman. A woman's body is just used to mass produce these warriors for Christ. And it's fucking exhausting. And many people do go into extreme debt. I mean, not everyone is the Duggars. I don't know what the fuck they do besides
Oh,
molest
they're fucking
people.
dying. They're goddamn drowning right now because they lost their fucking show and all their endorsements. Yeah, they're fucking drowning right now.
Yeah, I mean, you can't just keep helping out all these kids, right? So it makes perfect sense that, hey, you know what, you can't afford this kid that you just got pregnant with. It might be a good deal to go ahead and abort and look into birth control. You know, that freedom really is a woman's answer and key out of poverty. But since they don't allow it, and they shun the women, and they do these terrible things to make women feel this guilt, that a woman would rather kill herself than have an abortion or take a birth control pill. It's fucking insane what they can do to women to manipulate them to feel this way. And so this man who's come out here, and he's, you know, friends with atheists, he is friends with the Muslims, he is friends with everybody, he's friends with the poor, even though he's not friends with the poor. I can't believe he had the audacity to go down to the Philippines and see the poor people who needed money, while he's adorned in all of his riches, and he's not feeding them. But here's this man who ultimately, in my mind, if I were a PR representative for the Catholic Church, I would sell these pedophiles down the goddamn river. I would send out notices to every fucking church we have saying, you get busted, I am making a huge goddamn deal of it. Because what that would do is it would make the people say, you know what? Pope Francis, the Vatican, those people, they care about us little people. They care about what's happening here. They want to clean this shit up because they're exposed. They're exposed. You can't go through the internet right now and not see some sort of article about some priest molesting a kid. You can't go through a movie list and not see a movie about a priest molesting a kid. That's out there now. They are absolutely exposed. And the fact that they still think they can come up with clever ways to get around it. What is his name? Tim
Mention.
Mitchin, thank you. So sorry for mispronouncing that because I absolutely love him. He came out with a song, you know, straight up calling out a cardinal for not going down to, what was it, Australia? To be a part of a court case where he knew sexual molestation was happening and he did nothing to stop it. Then he claims his health prevented him from traveling, so he couldn't go down to testify on that behalf. And Tim called him out in the song, telling him, you're an absolute coward. You're a disgusting excuse for a man. And if you don't like what I'm saying, come to Australia and sue me. Get him down there so you can get him to that court case, you know? But they think they can come up with all of these things. And the fact that the main PR guy here, Pope Francis, and he's not Pope, he's the PR director of the Catholic Church. The fact that he's allowing these people to say the stupid bullshit, like, I didn't know it was wrong to fuck little boys. You're just burying yourself. I say let's bury the pedophiles. If I were the PR director for the Catholic organization, I would bury every fucking pedophile. I would turn them over to the police, and I would say, look, my people, we care about you, and we're going to protect you because that's what God wants us to do for you. You know what I mean? Let's make them happy. Let's do some shit like that.
Well, you know, the unfortunate fact is, as you say, the Pope is a PR man. The Pope, much like the president here in the United States, has very little power and authority. The Pope still answers to the Vatican Council.
He's still a
And
puppet.
yeah, the Vatican Council, they make the decisions, they finalize everything, and then they tell the Pope what the fuck to say. And of course, he's allowed to veer off script some, but there's some things that he says, you know, like even the atheist thing, that plenty of his fucking bishops and archbishops have said, yeah, that's horseshit. Fucking atheists are gonna fucking burn. And they're welcome to fucking disagree with him. There's plenty of people in the Catholic organization that disagree with the Pope, but
Oh, yeah.
the final official viewpoint of the Catholic Church comes from the Vatican Council. It doesn't come from the Pope. So all this horse shit the fucking Pope is slinging out there doesn't change a fucking thing. It doesn't mean a fucking thing. The Vatican Council is still overriding all of everything that he says and saying no, this is officially, this is where we're at. So the Pope can talk all the shit he wants, but it doesn't change a fucking thing within the church. um,
But
so
it
I
makes
guess
people feel like it's trying to go modern. It makes people feel like they're trying to change for their best interest. So it's a mind fuck is what it is. It's a mind fuck. And the fact that people aren't clear of this and they can't see the fact that he is out here telling people what they want to hear, and the church isn't backing it because it's not in their best interest to back it. It's fooling people into staying in the church. It's fooling people to continue to get their money.
so. I guess as our last few minutes wind up here, and we want to wind this down a little bit. I want to make a few final points. Okay. First of all, Ali mentioned the recent movie that came out that didn't necessarily do all that well in theaters, but has, of course, generated a lot of buzz within the movie community and critics of religion in saying this is a wonderful spotlight being put on the Catholic Church, and the name of the movie itself is Spotlight. So if you've got the time, go check it out, man. If it's available and you can find it somewhere, check it out and watch that movie if you want to have a better understanding of what exactly is going on within the church and what they're doing to cover this up, and how broad in scope this really is, because it's huge. So check out the movie Spotlight. If you want more information on this and not just the viewpoints of a couple drunk people from the South. Um, Another thing I'd like to add, because it always comes back around to this for me, is that I have always held the viewpoint that sexual repression is the leading cause of sexual depravity. And no one is more sexually repressive than the church, be it Catholic, be it Protestant. No one is more sexually regressive and and just holding people back and not allowing them to understand their own sexuality as the church. Um, and to really drive that point home, understand that in South Africa and in other portions of Africa, there is a huge AIDS epidemic going on right now. Understand that a great majority of these people are Catholics, and they have been influenced by the Catholic Church because the Catholic Church has sent many missionaries to Africa to spread the word of God to these horrible heathens living in no man's land in Africa. And they want to save all these souls. So they've told all these people, you can't use condoms. You can't have protected sex. Even if you're going to have sex outside of wedlock, which of course is, again, against the Catholic Church's viewpoint, even if you're going to do that, it's better to do it without a condom, because that is a terrible affront to God, than it is to use a condom and try to prevent the spread of this disease, which is running rampant through Africa and has been for some many years. And we hear about it year after fucking year, about how we've staunched a great portion of the AIDS epidemic in the United States because we've come out and said, hey man, protected sex, man, wrap it up. Like we know that we can't just tell people, hey, stop fucking. And of course, there's plenty of fucking church groups who have fought dearly for abstinence only, and it doesn't work. We all know that it fucking doesn't work. We were all fucking teenagers once, and speaking for every dude that I've ever fucking known, every heterosexual dude that I've known, by the time you're about 15, like, you kind of want to get your dick wet. Like, that's kind of a fucking thought press for you. Like, I'd kind of like to know what that feels like. And it's much better to say, hey, man, I know you're going to do this. Please fucking wrap it up, man. Protect yourself. Some shit don't fucking wash off, dude. Seriously. Just think about it. You know, it's better that you fucking wrap it up than you fucking have to deal with the potential of an abortion, or you have to deal with the fucking potential of sexually transmitted diseases. Like, please just at least protect yourself if you're going to fucking do it. But of course, the Catholic Church can't stand behind that, because birth control is the same as abortion for them. And of course, they're steadily pro-life. They're not pro-life. They're pro-fucking baby. You know, I didn't even understand that. Just take a minute, get on Google, and look at the numbers of babies in Africa right now that are being born with AIDS because their parents have fucking AIDS. And there's no such thing as having protected sex, because the Catholic Church has come in there and dominated these people and told them that if they wrap their dick up, they're liable to go to hell. That's what the Catholic Church has done. They've proliferated and perpetuated the spread of a deadly fucking disease in an entire fucking nation through their fucking bass-ackwards fucking viewpoint on protecting yourself sexually. Then we add to it all the priests that are out here raping children. And there's no other way to put that. You know, I mean, we want to put a nicer name on it and go, well, it's child abuse. Child abuse is when you fucking beat the living shit out of your fucking kid with a belt, and have no other fucking recourse of fucking actually handling your child. So you beat the living shit out of them, like the fucking How to Train Up a Child book tells you to fucking beat them with goddamn hoses and fucking PVC pipe and shit. That's child abuse.
On a blanket. Yeah.
Yeah, that's child abuse outright. When you sexually molest a child, it's raping a child. It's emotional rape. It's physical rape. And we don't need to call it anything less. That is rape. You have taken their innocence. You have taken their childhood. You have emotionally scarred them for life. You have many times physically scarred them for life. That is rape. And you should be tried as a fucking rapist. And you know, I'm not a big proponent of the fucking death penalty, but I think if we're gonna kill folks, if you're a multiple offender when it comes to child rape, I don't see any problem with fucking putting you down like a fucking rabid dog, because you don't fucking get it. If you've had your one chance and you came back out and you still did it, oh, fuck you. I don't care. I feel no fucking pity for you whatsoever. Put you the fuck down, because you're not gonna fucking learn. You're not gonna fucking get past it. You're just gonna keep doing it because you think it's okay, because you think you can't control your urges. So, you know, we spend these nights every Monday talking to you guys about all these issues, and our honest hope is that some people view these videos and it hits a nerve, and it makes you say, you know what, I don't necessarily want to be that asshole that's just like, man, fuck religion. But at the same time, that's the only thing that's working right now. That's the only thing that gets through to people. There's no one complaining about nice atheists out there that are fucking like, oh man, it's okay to have your religion and shit. Like, you can do that as long as you're not hurting anybody. And then when you do hurt somebody, well, you know, that's just part of your culture. Nobody's complaining about those folks. Nobody's paying attention to those folks. And they're paying attention to people like us. that are straight up just telling you flat out, this shit's got to go. You're not going to fucking reform it. You're not going to fucking fix it. Fanatics have taken it over. And the only way to deal with it is to get rid of it. Um, do I want to get rid of it by force? Of course not. I want it to die of natural fucking causes, because a new generation comes in and says, you know what? No, fuck, man, I'm not getting involved. Even if I want to believe in a God, I'm not believing in any of this other bullshit, and I'm not going to be a part of these fucking organizations. I'm sick of it. I don't want any fucking part of it. Yeah, I'll sit over here and be a deist and have my own idea about God. And I'm telling you, all you Christians out there who tell me when we talk about this shit, well, my God wouldn't allow that. My God doesn't do that. Dude, you're a fucking deist. You don't believe in the God of your religion.
Nope.
Yeah. You've made up your own fucking God and created your own God in your own image. And kudos to you that your image is better than the fucking God from these religions. Kudos to you. But you're a fucking deist, and you may as well let go of all that other bullshit and those fucking labels and calling yourself a Christian or a Muslim or a Jew or anything else. If you've got a progressive viewpoint that says your God wouldn't do the kind of shit that your God supposedly fucking does in your own fucking doctrine, let it go. You're fucking done. You created your own God. You worship that God. You be okay, man. You be just as okay as me, because neither one of us is getting into a heaven. I may not believe in it. You may. But neither one of us is going. I just happen to, have a much stronger viewpoint on that than you. Um, if you need a God, you keep your God, but you let go of this bullshit, dude. Stop being a part of these fucking organizations. Stop getting involved with this bullshit. It's time to fucking let it go. Let's move on past this. As always, the thoughts and viewpoints expressed here are not necessarily the thoughts and viewpoints expressed by all members of Atheist Republic. We have a large organization of many, many people, over 300 people involved in this organization. We cannot possibly speak for all of those people. So if you have an issue or take issue with anything that we've said here, please message us in the comment section below on YouTube or on Google+. Go to our Facebook page, The Devils in God's Country, and send us all the hate mail you would like. We will gladly bear the brunt of that assault. And if you're coming to assault us, I'm not going to speak nicely to you. So just know that I'm kind of a dick about it. So fair fucking warning. If you show up acting like a douchebag, I'm going to treat you like a douchebag. But again, don't send fucking hate mail to Atheist Republic. I don't know how many times we get people coming to AR talking about, oh man, that fucking Allie and Casper and all this devil shit. Like, man, fuck those guys. Like, yeah, that's not really our shit. Like, they're just, members of AR who do some shit, and like, we support their ability to do that and their right to do that. So like, we allow them to use our logo and all that. And that's why you see that beautiful Atheist Republic logo. But it doesn't mean that every member of this organization supports what we say or do here. So please throw your vitriol at us. If you happen to like what we at Atheist Republic do, trying to build a strong and vibrant online atheist community, trying to reach out in local communities through our consulates and bring other atheists and freethinkers in different areas of the world together, please visit atheistrepublic.com and support us in some way if you would like to have your voice heard through our network. We would love to have you on as a blogger or news writer or any other sort of way that you'd like to volunteer with us.
Actually, I just want to throw this in out there really quick. If you're a designer, a graphic designer, a shitty graphic designer, I can help you. And if you feel like joining our team, I could really use some hands in the graphic design department. So just want to throw that out there. Even if you're a shitty graphics artist, I can help. I've got pre-made templates, and we even pretty much tell you exactly what it is you need to put on there. So please email me. You don't even have to volunteer through the website. Email me, Allie at atheistrepublic.com. That's ALLIE. I don't know why people think it's like the back alley. I don't know. You email me there and tell me you're interested in graphic design.
It's the hair, babe. People pick up the Allie idea from the hair. You look a little floozy-ish. Oh, okay, guys. This has been another episode of Devils in God's Country, and of course, what we in the organization at Atheist Republic do isn't free. So if you want to throw us a couple bones, we would definitely appreciate it. But again, we're not passing along collection plate. If you don't want to, if you don't have it or you don't want to do it, that's fine too. You can still visit our page, enjoy the shit we do, look at the memes, get involved in arguments with fucking fundamentalists that show up on the page and want to cuss everybody else out there. So it can be a real time. So visit Atheist Republic on Facebook, visit atheistrepublic.com. Get involved with Atheist Republic. If you're an atheist and you want to speak out, we've got a platform for you. This has been another episode of the Devils in God's Country, and we will see you again, same time, same channel, next week. Bye.